Friends, welcome back. So we're going to go over a few social studies questions. And these questions are going to be independent questions, meaning they're just going to be by themselves and not a whole series of questions. So we're going to go over 4 questions just independently. Okay, so teacher friends, I have a free student retention checklist that I would love for you to check out. It's completely complimentary to you for being a teacher. The link is right down below. And students, I have a checklist for you as well on what you really need to do well on getting your GED or your HiSET. The link is down below. So 2 different checklists, one for teachers, one for students. Make sure you check it out, completely free for you. Okay, let's get started. Okay, which statement about a candidate running for president would be most difficult to prove or disprove? Okay, so let's go through these questions one at a time, or the answers. So here we have A. A candidate visited all 50 states last year. Could we show that? Could we show, yes, they visited all these different states. They were in South Carolina. They were in Utah. Could we easily show that or prove that? Absolutely. So that's not going to be the answer. B, candidate A has a more reasonable, notice this here, more reasonable stances on taxes than candidate B. So that's really subjective or kind of tricky, right? More reasonable. What does more reasonable actually mean, right? We can't really prove or disprove more reasonable because that's our own opinion, right? So let's look at C. Candidate B voted in favor of a bill that would raise income tax rates. Could we prove that? Yes, because we are able to see what our individual candidates voted for, right? If they're already in office, we can see what they voted for. And so that would be easy to prove. Candidate B received more campaign contributions than candidate A. Again, yes, this is public information that can be easily proved or disproved. So here the answer is B, and it's really because of that subjective more reasonable, not knowing exactly what more reasonable means. We need a quantitative number or something that we can prove. Which of the following locations would be expected to have the most hours of sunlight on January 15th? Okay, so we're looking at different coordinates on the globe. Now, let's just think about east and west first. Does it matter where you're located? If it's winter in the United States, in the Northern Hemisphere, is it going to be winter in Europe or in Japan? Yes, because we're all in the Northern Hemisphere. So really, the east and west doesn't matter. So we can actually just eliminate this. Okay, so now we're just looking at north and south. So think about what you already know. So if you're located in the United States like I am, January 15th is winter. And I know that in the winter, I do not have very much sunlight, right? It's very dark in the winter. And so that's because I'm in the Northern Hemisphere. So that would eliminate A and B in the Northern Hemisphere because January 15th up here is winter. So now we're looking at the Southern Hemisphere, C and D. So we know that, think about our summer, when we are higher north, we're receiving more sunlight in the summer than when we are further south, right? So the same goes true with the south in the winter. So the 10 degrees south is going to be receiving a little bit more balanced night and day than the 50 degrees south, which is a little bit closer to the South Pole, to Antarctica. So they're actually receiving significantly more light down there than they are at the 10 degrees. So the answer is D. Which of the following is the best example of an investment in human resources? So human resources would basically be employees, investing in their employees, right? If you invest in your employees, then maybe your employees will have more knowledge, they will be better workers for you, and ultimately make the business or the company more money. So we have to think about those employees. Okay, so A, A company provides educational programs for its employees. Is that going to help? Is that an investment, providing educational programs? Absolutely. Absolutely it is. B, a company offers special discounts to some customers. Does that deal with the employees? No, that's not investing in human resources or investing in employees. A person buys stock in a newly formed company. That has nothing to do with the company's investment in human resources. A company acquires a machine that can do the work of several people. This is the opposite of investing in human resources, right? That is like taking away from human resources. So that's definitely not it. So friends, our answer is A, providing those educational programs. So actually, when you're looking for a job or a career, look at companies that do provide educational opportunities for their employees, because that is investing in the human resources, and that's investing in you and making you a better employee. Or if you're an entrepreneur, maybe provide some educational programs for your employees. Which of the following people would be least likely to favor a city's proposed downtown redevelopment plan? Okay, so I want you to just think about, imagine a town or a big city, and their downtown area is not doing very well. Okay, maybe it's run down and it's just not what it once was. And so they're trying to rebuild it, make it a much better place. So who would benefit from that? Okay, so A, someone who is financing a new office building in the downtown area. Would they be in favor of it? Absolutely. They would love to have the downtown area be this thriving place. So again, this says least likely, so they're not going to be against it, right? A member of the city board that recommended the project. Well, of course they're going to be for it. They recommended it, right? A longtime resident of an apartment building targeted for demolition. Okay, so this person has lived in the downtown area for a long time. Maybe they're in an apartment that is starting to crumble, but they've lived there for so long, right? They want to stay there, right? They're not going to be like, hey, let's revise this downtown area and demolish this building I'm in, right? Let's look at D. A partner in an architectural firm that would develop the proposed plan. Of course, this person's for it. So the answer is C. And we made it to the end. Thank you for being here. Just a couple of quick questions that we answered. If you haven't already, click the link down below, whether you're a teacher or a student, to download the free checklist that I have for you so that you can just be a little bit better in your teaching or a little bit better in your studying. Completely free. And I will see you in the next video. Believe in yourself, just like I believe in you. Peace, friends. God bless you.